Alright guys, so this is my little dog Moose, and she just wants everybody to know that if you are triggered by certain words in the English language, then you may not want to continue watching this video because there will be no punches pulled. Also, it is to be understood that from here on out, anything I say, any statements, anything else, will be strictly my opinion. Okay, in my opinion only. This video is for entertainment purposes. Anything that I say will be opinion. Those opinions are derived from my interactions with Woodland Hills Cameras and Telescopes, which was predominantly Farrah Payne, who I believe is the owner of that business. I could be wrong. And I'm also going to throw in the loop nPAE, who is the manufacturer of the turret in question and why this video is being done. So again, opinion, okay, something that I have my opinion to, I have that right, and you will see that I will meticulously, very meticulously, with surgical precision, show you from A to Z why these opinions of mine have come about. Also, I want you to think about this before we start. Let's say you bought something from Best Buy. I don't know if you have Best Buys in your area. They're like an electronics store. So say you buy something from Best Buy. Now that item you bought is manufactured in China. So now you take this item home, you find out that it was packaged very poorly, so a little bit of damage, okay, it goes to the show that somebody didn't know how to package something. And then once you get it in use, you find out that it doesn't meet the specifications. Possibly piss poor engineering, who knows, possibly they just wanted to get it out into the public eye and get it out there, maybe save some money, cut back on the quality to get it into a price point. So now you do yourself, oh, let's just say you did a 48-minute video, okay? Now that video you send to the manufacturer to say, hey, look, what a piece of shit this thing is. And then you go back to Best Buy and you say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Customer Service Rep, I'd like to return this piece of shit item. And then I want your reaction when they tell you the following. Well, sir or ma'am, you need to send that back to China, and when China reimburses us, i.e. Best Buy, we will reimburse you. So as we start this, I want you to just think about that. What would you say to them? What would your reaction be? What would you do? Would you consider a company that would tell you that ethical? Would you think they had any right to even be in business? If they're going to tell you that, and yet you purchase it from a certain company, and they're going to tell you that you have to send it back to the manufacturer in another country, and then wait before they give you your money back. Just ask yourself that. Is that an ethical company? Is that a company that deserves to be in business? Guys, all I can say is I would think twice about having any dealings with Woodland Hills, okay, and nPAE, because I feel that, as you'll see here, I think both companies, nPAE didn't step up to the plate like they should have. You'll see what I'm talking about. So again, guys, one last opportunity. There may be some very descriptive words used in this video in language that you may not appreciate. You have been warned. At the end of this video, I'm going to show that I actually did do a repackaging video just in case, because I didn't trust them. I thought they were going to try to say, oh, you fucked something up in shipping, you didn't package it right. So if you're interested, at the very end of the video, I will have the repackaging process that I did on video as proof. Luckily I didn't need it, but it's always better to be prepared than not. The only thing I won't show would be the address clip from that. But other than that, if you're interested to see how meticulous I was in packaging, you can check it out. In fact, I did a better job packaging it than nPAE did. And again, if you look at that first video, see what I'm talking about. Now guys, I will have links in the description below to this video of every other video that pertains to what I'm talking about here that led me up to this point, so that you can see for yourself why I am at this stage of the game. So here we want to take a look at where we see that I made an order from Woodland Hills Camera Telescope, and you can clearly see that that was done on June the 15th 2022. And thank you for your order from Woodland Hills Camera Telescope. And that's important. Okay, they took the order, they took my money. And then it goes on, order number, what I am purchasing, then the billing information, the shipping, because I'm having this shipped to work because it had to be signed for. So I just had them ship it to work. And then you can see, this is the first page. The item was $895. And then we have page 2, which shows they charged $19.27, the grand total of $914.27 charged to my Discover credit card. Next we see on June 20th, because what happened is the item had to go from the United Kingdom, Nottingham, the United Kingdom. It went to Woodland Hills Camera Telescopes. Then once they received it, they would then ship it to me. And so here you see the verification from Payne, P-A-Y-A-N. I'm not sure if it's Payne or Payan, but Payne as in pain in the ass. Now here's an email I sent to Farah in regards to I didn't want the package opened. I had sent an email to nPAE and wasn't sure if customs was going to open it. In any event, I wanted the package just to be put in another package, and you can freeze this frame and read it. But here you see where I very clearly wanted that. Let me state that it was very important, and I'm so glad that they did not open it up. And if you take a look at that first video link with my review, you'll understand why. And then we have this email from June 28th 2022 that the package has left Woodland Hills. They received it from Nottingham, United Kingdom, and that they are now taking that package, putting it in a box, and as I clearly show in my first video review of the turret, and now they are sending that to my work address. Now, boys and girls, this is a very important email that I sent out. This was the beginning of my issues. Subject: issues with your Ruby turret. See full video, please. The date: 7/10/2022, 1:30 p.m. Make note of that. That was a Sunday. This is a Sunday. So I had an opportunity this weekend to use my new turret. Here's the link to my video review. I hope you watched the entire video, 48 minutes, 44 seconds. I had to go into areas I never thought I would need to. I actually had to get out my digital Mitsatoya 1 to 2 inch micrometers, as shown in the video, because of a fit issue. I needed to see what was going on. No other 1.25-inch accessory I own has had an issue like shown in the video. Then we have the issue with the rotation and click stops not properly retaining the positions. To sum up, useless. Why was the turret not better packed so the caps would not fall out and cause nicks on the paint? Woodland Hills packed your package in a box better than you did a $900 item. I always try to be very thorough when doing a review video. I never know when things may go south and not be what they appear. If I have a reason for a negative review, I have irrefutable evidence as to why. I am very disappointed as I had high hopes for your 6th position turret. I am left flat on my face with it. 1. I am requesting that you take this unit back and give me a full, complete refund. And then please let me know ASAP so I can contact my Discover credit card if I need to go that route. Basically letting them know that I wasn't going to be fucking around, okay? Because I don't fuck around, especially when you have a bullshit item like this. So that was just a little jab to let them know that you better get your shit together. I was very disappointed with this. 2. The package will be picked up by a shipper at my home at your cost. I do not have time to take to a shipper with my work schedule. I am working up to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Also, I am only returning as I have a defective unit. Very clear. See, if I wasn't happy with something or it was the wrong item, say it was the wrong item. That's my responsibility. But I've been in the hobby of astronomy over 50 years. I knew exactly what this item was, what it was for, and as per their specs, it should have been fine, but it wasn't. Take a look at them videos. 3. It will be sent back to Woodland Hills, who I had to say charged my card and took the order. And once they receive it, I am to be given a full, complete refund to my Discover credit card. It's up to you after that what will happen. I mean, I think anybody would agree to that, right? Once I get confirmation from you, I will myself contact Farrah at Woodland Hills to get the process moving, and so I can repackage the items. I think you have a product that could be the best in the industry, but it has shortcomings. Perhaps you will take a look at my opinions as to what they are and stated in the video review. Thanks. So I think this is very to the point, and as again, I'm telling them you could have a great product. Obviously, they fell flat on their face. Now, boys and girls, this is really important here. I sent my buddy who lives in a different city, an astronomy buddy, I sent him the review of the video. That you'll see the 48-minute video, which again I will have links to everything that is pertinent to leading up to this. And you know, when I told him in there that I'm going to be requesting for my money back, here's the email that he sent me. This is quite telling, guys. This is quite telling. Now let's look at this. So this is on the same day. You got to remember that that this email I sent out at 1:30 p.m. to nPAE. And prior to that, I sent something to my buddy here. And so on the same date, 7/10 at 2:50 p.m., he gives me the link to their terms and conditions. And what does he say? Woodland Hills is a shit fuck operation. Let's take a look at that again. Woodland Hills is a shit fuck operation. Okay? Can't be any plainer than that, can it, boys and girls? Like I told you, I'm going to put everything in here. I'm going to document exactly how Farrah Payne thought she was going to fuck me over when it came to money. So I must say didn't even think about that aspect of it. And so here you see on 7/10/22, that same Sunday, shortly after I received this from my buddy at 3:17 p.m., I sent an email to Farrah. Please see my email I sent, and because I hadn't forwarded this email to Farrah. I didn't see a reason to at that point. I just wanted nPAE to see how fucked up their product was. Please see the email I sent nPAE below this afternoon, because in this email here I forwarded to her. My buddy sends me a link about your return policy. Will this be the case? I want nPAE to approve the return to you so I can get refund in full and nPAE can have their crap back. Please see the video. I do know a thing or two about machining. I did the order with you over the phone. I wish you would have told me the terms about your return/refund policy at the time of the order process. I sincerely hope I get taken care of. I will be doing a follow-up video about the situation. And I'll jump ahead real quick here and say that Discover did say that once you, she said, click on the order, whether, she made that response as far as online, you are already agreeing to the terms and conditions. And I'm guilty of that. How many times you see something, oh shit, I like that, and you order it, and you don't even think about returns, what their return policy is, refund policy. Now guys, this is important. As you'll recall, I sent the email to nPAE on Sunday, July 10, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. On the exact same date, on a Sunday, at 3:38 p.m., nPAE responds to that email and their carbon copy Farah pain in the ass. Let's take a look at what this says. This here, and remember, you're going to see what I've got underlined, so that remember that, because that's going to be important down the road. Hi, thanks for your email and for making a video. Now let's look at this, boys and girls. What does it say right here? I'll show it to the engineers next week. Not a goddamn thing about anything else. It says, I'll show it to the engineers next week. Now they saw my video, they saw the eyepieces I put on it, and that was their response. Okay, nothing else. We did suggest on the 14th of June that you try it out before making a purchase. Okay, now that's just a bullshit goddamn way of, I don't know if they're trying to, and I did a video on that, you'll see it. I'm not even going to go in there, and I'm going to show you that they're just trying to wipe their hands clean of this. Again, I've got over 50 years in the hobby. As per our satisfaction guarantee, you can return your Ruby turret. Now this next one is important. Woodland Hills will handle the refund and return. They are copied in the email. Okay, but that's very important. The only thing that nPAE got right is this section right here. Woodland Hills will handle the refund and return. Well, they have to. Why? Because Farah, pain in the ass, took my order and she took my money. nPAE can't do the return. They had nothing to do with the order. Okay, here's where it gets sketchy. Alright, boys and girls, here's where it gets sketchy. The following day, what would that have been, a 12th, right? I called a later mid-afternoon, I called, I think around 2 o'clock, I called from work and spoke to Farah, pain in the ass, and asked her if she had received the email. Yeah, she said, well, I kind of, I saw it, I saw both emails, this, and didn't do much. I said, okay. I said, well, I'd like to have a label so I can get this sent out. After work, I'll package it up and send it out. Now, the following actually turned out to be a godsend, because with what I'm going to say, Farah from Woodland Hills and even nPAE, and you'll see why I say this, because I think there is much to blame on the way this way I got fucked around. It turned out to be a godsend for me, because I was able, in their dragging their feet, do a refutation of what they said, again, video links, that even smaller eyepieces didn't work in that turret. And then I even show it with a real turret from Takahashi that I purchased right after that. So it worked out good, but in the conversation, and I'll make this quick, because there were several phone calls, but the important part was, when I told her, could you please, and I told her, it needs to be picked up from my home at nPAE's cost. Didn't have time to be screwing around going anywhere. So she said, well, she says, I've got to contact them to verify. I said, well, you've got the email, Farah. What do we need? You have the email. You're the one that took my money, took the order. She said, oh, well, we've got to be patient. Well, all right, patient for what? It's pretty simple. And she said, it's going to be picked up from your work. I said, and so now that argument pursued. I said, no, Farah, it's going to be picked up from my home. So at one point she said, that what I would have to do is here's where I told you that scenario in the beginning, okay? All right, and this is where I ask you about an ethical company, a company that knows their ass from a hole in the ground. Would they do this? Would a company, looking at what I have a 48 and some minute video, irrefutable documentation. You see that nPAE, they had their finger up their bottom side. All they said is, we'll show it to the engineers. They had no idea, okay? And she said that I had to send it back to nPAE in the Nottingham, United Kingdom. And she further said, when they, nPAE, refund me, I will refund you. I said, no, I said, Farrah, that's not how that's going to work. And at some point I said, hey, look, I said, if you do that, if you try to do that, I'm going to dispute my credit card. She further told me that if I do, she gets a chargeback fee of $35 and would charge me like I gave a fuck. You know, you got the wrong guy here to be jacking around when it came to money. And so she just said, please hold. I was on hold for 10 minutes, ended up hanging up the phone because I just didn't have time. I called back, make a long story short, after several more phone calls, I talked to her, and she was persistent. That's what she was going to do. I didn't say anything else to her. I let her talk because that's not how that was going to work, Farrah. Okay? One thing you got to understand, you can kick me in the ass and I may turn around and walk away. But if you try to take one thin fucking dime from me, my money, you got a bull by the horns. And goddamn it, you ain't going to do that. Nobody's ever done it, and you're not going to be the first, Farrah. Understand that. Understand that. And you guys that are seeing this video, you really need to be very leery. My recommendation would be, do not buy a damn thing from Woodland Hills, okay? If this is how they're going to treat me, how do you think they're going to treat them? And I bring up this question. She must have a lot of disputes, because if I was the first dispute, or second or third, in all the years they've been in operation, why would she even think about charging $35? But she must have a lot of people that have to dispute things. Again, this is just my thought. I don't know. Otherwise, I've never had one company in all my years tell me they were going to charge a chargeback fee if I disputed the transaction. Now here we see an email on the 11th. Okay, my mistake. It would have been the 11th, not the 12th when I spoke to Farrah. It was that Monday, the 11th of July. So in any event, here at 3:20 p.m., you can see that she says, hello, David. Hope all is well. I have included in here so he's up to date with the progress of his return. Can you kindly advise if the turret can come to you directly without having to be touched again? Okay. Please accommodate, yada, yada. Okay. So I thought, well, again, this was probably after my second time I talked to her, because it was later in the afternoon. And then it was at that point, after work, that I did call my credit card and did several things. Alright, so, as I said, I called Discover. You'll see what I did here. Because, for one thing, Farrah, understand the following. You will not hold me hostage to your bullshit, to your very unethical way of doing things. Okay? So, that $35 meant jack shit to me. Okay? You were gonna get disputed. I could care less what you wanted. So, I also sent this then to nPAE, to a Dave guy who that's the last email she had sent directly to him. Farrah Payne and carbon copy to David at nPAE. This is the Monday, July 11, 2022, shipping and return process and my Discover credit card. All I expect is to be treated fairly and respectfully. Why did you put me on hold for 10 minutes today? I ended up hanging up. After several more attempts, I finally get a hold of you for a second time. You were very short and in a hurried manner on both occasions. Why? So, I called my Discover credit card this afternoon and talked to disputes. I read them the following line directly from nPAE's email to me on 7/10/22 at 3:38 p.m. Woodland Hills will handle the refund and return. Discover credit card said this clearly puts the onus on Woodland Hills to have the package shipped back to Woodland Hills, and that once Woodland Hills receives the package, Woodland Hills is to promptly refund in full my 9/14/27, not wait for nPAE to refund Woodland Hills first. Okay, so this, and not have the package sent to nPAE in the United Kingdom while I wait for nPAE to receive the package and wait for nPAE to refund Woodland Hills, and then Woodland Hills will at last refund me. Here's what I said. It doesn't work that way. Did you hear that, bitch? It doesn't work that way, little Pharaoh pain in the ass. Yeah. You like I said, you don't screw me when it comes to money. That just ain't gonna happen, Pharaoh. Ain't gonna happen. Facts. I ordered directly from you, Pharaoh, at Woodland Hills, and you accepted my order. You took my Discover credit card information and further accepted my order by taking my money on June 15, 2022 at Woodland Hills. And again, I've documented all that with the emails. So, I disputed my Discover credit card charge from you this afternoon for the amount of $914.27. I need from you, Pharaoh, at Woodland Hills, the following to make me whole. 1. Have a label emailed to me that has the shipper pick up the package from my home address. Once you receive the package, promptly refund my Discover credit card, 9/14/27, the same day, and please email me such as occurred. Please understand, Pharaoh, that I am not returning the item willy-nilly, as it were. Nothing would have made me happier than to receive a properly working turret. I believe my YouTube video, and again I give the link, can be no clearer as to the issues I had with my unit. I documented it to the nth degree. I do not appreciate your attitude, Pharaoh. Why be like that? Just not right. Also, I had Discover credit card put. Let me get page 2. I had them put a stop pay on Woodland Hills, so you cannot charge my Discover credit card any further. I do not want to play hardball, but you initiated it, Pharaoh. I had no other recourse in this matter. Again, remember, Pharaoh's telling me as if she's going to hold me hostage to her bullshit ethics. That's how I'm going to say it. My opinion. Her bullshit fucking ethics. By telling me and thinking that $35 is going to stop me. I piss out more than $35, Pharaoh. That means jack shit to me. So you can go fuck yourself. I used to have my own carpentry business in my younger years. One thing you always do is treat customers with the utmost of respect and always fix your mistakes. That's how you keep happy customers, Pharaoh. I expected much more from you, Pharaoh, at Woodland Hills. So, again, facts. Just spitting out some truth there. If you're going to deal and take orders from people, you got to be able to do the return. Not the manufacturer from another country that didn't even take the order and didn't even take my money. So now let's look at the following, guys. This stupid ass, pain in the ass bitch continues. David, please respond so we can credit account as soon as possible. Unbelievable. She still is trying to play her game. So here's what we have. Did I make myself clear, Pharaoh? It's going back to you at Woodland Hills, not going back to nPAE. They, nPAE, can pay whatever it takes to get it back to them from you. My Discover credit card said you, Woodland Hills, has to receive the package and refund me. Please reread below. You are dragging your feet, Pharaoh. No reason you didn't have a label ready for me today. Again, I find that to be a godsend because that actually allowed me, and you'll see why I say this. You'll see when you'll see in a bit here why I'm glad they did drag their feet, really, because had it gone out the door, they could have made claims that I couldn't have backed up. I will be doing a video on Woodland Hills and how they treated me and jacked me around. No one takes advantage of me when it comes to money. No one. What did I tell you earlier? You're playing games with the wrong person, Pharaoh. So there you go. Okay? As I said, they've been warned. You know, they understand what business should be. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't understand how an ethical company should work. Okay? I don't know. But it's pretty fucking clear to me and anybody else that I've talked about this and shown this, that that's how it operates. You take the order, you give back the fucking money to the person that you took the order from. Miss Farrah pain in the ass. And one thing about Discover, they're a little slow when it comes to the determination of the ultimate outcome. But when it came to this part, and I'm going to show this, okay, they sent this later in the evening on, what was that, Tuesday the 12th of July. And I won't, you can just pause it and read it, but this has to do with the stop pay. This is from Wednesday the 13th, where she said that I got some kind of a link to send it back. And let's look at this part of it, where it says the turret is not functioning properly because the unit is overloaded with heavy eyepieces. Yeah, well, that's not the case there, Farrah, because my dispute video clearly shows that the smaller eyepieces didn't even work with this. So now here you are trying to throw blame on me, and the blame goes clearly on nPAE and their poorly engineered piece of shit product. Unfortunately, it was going to be from work. Farrah, I don't know, you're so fucking disorganized. Even my work phone number, my phone number, the work address, things are screwed up. You are so fucking disorganized. I don't know how you stayed in business, okay? So, I sent this out. What is your problem, Farrah? The package has to be picked up at my home. Redo a new label for this address, as I clearly told you over the phone. My home address for the new label you have to make. Then I said, it is not going to be done from my work address. It's to be picked up from my home address. I'm not going to bother work, as I clearly stated to you. Please do this over. I will be using the same boxes and everything that came in to ship back. So on Friday the 15th, I ended up getting this Kurt guy. He was about the only guy that really said he would try to do what he could here. And so he sent me an attachment, and I told him that I wanted it to be picked up from my house. He said he would redo it. Now, he didn't. I assumed he meant picked up from my home. And again, when I say that, at no cost to me. Now, his label was from my house, and I didn't look into it any further because I was going to, since they were jacking me around, I was going to do that video review the following day, Saturday, so that I could show and dispute what they had said was wrong with, that I was supposedly doing wrong. Well, as it turned out, Kurt fucked up, or he just didn't give a fuck, whatever. Then on July 17th, which was a Sunday, I was ready to call UPS, have it picked up from my house, and at that point, I found out that it was not for a pickup. It just had my home address on it, and that I had to take it somewhere. So I said, well, how much would it cost to pick it up from my house? They wanted almost $20, 19 something, for them to actually pick it up. And I said, well, that ain't going to happen. So I had to inconvenience myself. This is why I say, nPAE, you're just as dirty as Woodland Hills. Because you should have stepped up to the plate. You should have said, hey, we got a fucked up product. The guy clearly showed us in his 48+ minute video. You should have just bent over with your tail between your legs and said, hey, let's just take care of this guy. Let's not be assholes like Farrah wanted to be. But you didn't. So I had no choice. I went ahead and on a Sunday found a place that they said would accept it. And they scanned the package, and then I got a text. It was an I forget. I think it was a text showing that they did receive it, into the system. So, anyways, that's why I blame you, nPAE. You're just as dirty. Your ethics, your the way you do business is just as poor, I believe, as in Woodland Hills. You should have stepped up to the plate and taken care of a customer, especially when he was correct. And then clearly showed that the item that he received was garbage. No respect to you, both Woodland Hills and nPAE. So in the morning before I left for work, I sent this Kurt, this would have been on Friday the 22nd, has a full refund been given to my Discover credit card. Please let me know the amount of the refund and that it has been taken care of. I will then contact Discover to stop the dispute I initiated, and there we are. Because they had received the turret, so I wanted them to move fast with the refund. Alright guys, this is where the fucking's gonna start coming in here from Woodland Hills, Farrah pain in the ass. So you'll recall where she clearly told me about the $35 if I disputed, okay, holding me hostage, to her acting what I believe should be an ethical business practice of you taking my money, you giving me back, you taking the return, you giving me back my money, you took the order. Not me going back to another country and then waiting for her to get refunded. So I did then the same day, that Friday, 7/22, receive this email with an invoice for the return. Let's examine it, boys and girls. So we see the refund was done on 7/22 at 2022 at 1:55 p.m., which is probably their time. And we see that it's from Woodland Hills. And we see that it's for the turret. We see that they gave me $8.95, which was the turret cost. This stupid bitch even gave me back the $19.27, which was the shipping and handling, which I really didn't expect to get. And it wouldn't have bothered me if I didn't get it because, you know, obviously they had to ship it. You know, most places won't give you your shipping back. In light of what they tried to do here, I'm very surprised. But you'll see this restock fee. We're going to look at that closer, guys. $35. So that bitch did take that off. So my net refund to my Discover credit card was $879.27. So I've shown you all the documents, or at least I showed you on my Discover site, all the documents that I uploaded as far as the amount, not each one particular, but just the amount. And we're going to take a look at this now. Notice how she said restocking fee. Now I sent Discover 2 screenshots because it had to be done in 2 different, because I had to scroll up. Showed them the refund policy. Their restocking fees, whatever. And so if we take a look, it says restocking fee. Then it says chargeback fees. This was explained to the client before the chargeback. Then it shows that the item they received it on the 21st, which would have been a Thursday. They had the tracking number there. So, Farrah, when I saw this, I thought, there's no way this is going to happen, the $35, because you've showed it as a chargeback fee. You're so fucking stupid, Farrah, pain in the ass, that all you had to do, let me be clear about this, Farrah, you are a dumbass. All you had to do, Farrah, was just say it was a restocking fee. Because your terms and conditions are so fucking, I don't know what the word I want to use. They can almost have run of what they want to do. Had you just left this at restocking fee, I am so smart that I wouldn't even have worried about it. Because I understand, well, you know, this is a restocking fee, that's what she said. And there would have been nothing I could do about it, not a thing. But you're so fucking stupid, Farrah, that you actually said chargeback fees, okay? So I ran with that. So let's look at this. I found out, and I don't know the exact date, I don't know if it was right around the beginning of August, that Discover had made the determination that that was a fee and that they are allowed to charge that fee and so that they were in fact going to allow Woodland Hills to charge me the $35, and that I would not get the complete amount of the $914 and change. I was only going to get $879.27. So as you can imagine, I thought, well, that ain't going to work. So I called back when I found out. I was on hold for a long time, but I was be damned if they were going to take my money. Got a hold of Disputes finally after almost an hour, and she reiterated that, and that that's how it was. And I tried to explain about the chargeback, that it's not stated in there. She said, well, that's okay. She said you guys had the right to do it, that Woodland Hills could do that. I asked for a supervisor. She said one wasn't available. So the very next day, I called up and asked for a supervisor. So, on August 3rd, 2022, I spoke to a Lewis. He was from he was on the resolution side, the escalation of the disputes. He was out of Delaware, the state of Delaware. And I proceeded to tell him what was going on and how I thought that the $35 clearly was not in their terms and conditions. The word chargeback wasn't even in there. They didn't even state in their terms and conditions that anything about a dispute. Clearly it was just restocking. He put me on hold for several minutes, said, let me go ahead and look at this. He came back and he agreed. And he said that he would now initiate a dispute on the $35. Because I'll tell you what, Pharaoh, I don't fucking roll that way. If your terms and conditions says it, then I guess I was screwed. But it didn't say that. Again, you're so stupid, Pharaoh. Just call it a restocking fee. The next people you want to fuck over, just do that, Pharaoh. I'm giving you a little bit of advice here. You want to fuck somebody else over, just tell them it's a restocking fee. There'd be nothing you could do about it. Not a thing. But when you start putting things in there that are not even in your terms and conditions, you're going to fuck yourself. Okay? So I'm just giving you a little lesson in business here, Barry. And you're a dumbass. So, I wanted to wait and see what the results of that would be. So on Saturday, August the 13th, I called the Discover card to see where I was. And I was told that yesterday, which would have been Friday, the 12th, they, Discover, found in my favor, and that the $35 was also going to be returned to me. Okay, so let's look at that. What did we learn today, Pharaoh? We learned that if you run your business in an unethical manner, which I believe, okay, and you see what my buddy called you guys, that if you're going to treat people in a rude manner, try to take their money, and they fight back, you're probably going to get screwed. And I'm so glad that I was persistent. The amount of time I've got on all this is immeasurable. But you do not screw me when it comes to money, Pharaoh. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen, Pharaoh. Okay, you need to understand that. And so, I don't know if I'm the first person that's ever gotten their $35 back or whatever you might have charged. Because I'm assuming I can't be the first that you've charged this $35 to. But I got it, and I'm so glad. And I wouldn't do a goddamn bit of business with you and anybody. I would recommend you run for the hills. Okay? Let this video be whatever you want to. But if this is the way you want to be treated, if you want to put the amount of time that I had to put in fighting to get what I just should have got back right from the beginning, having to fight and argue with a company to take back a product that they should have without me having to go through hoops, if that's what you want, then that's fine. But you've been warned. Alright guys, so let's take a look at this. Resolve disputes. Resolution date 8/12 of 22. Woodland Hills Camera. There's that $35, guys. There is that $35 that I was talking about. So Farrah, guess you didn't fuck me this time, did you? You just weren't able. Did you find a customer that was just a little too smart? Although the way you do business, I don't think you need to. I don't need to be too smart to deal with you. But this is how diligent I was. Over $35. If you had to pay me for the amount of time that I was screwing around with that, you'd owe me hundreds. But that's how it is, Farrah. You were not going to take advantage of me at all. That is, in my opinion, very unfair business practice. Discover said they have never heard of somebody being charged a chargeback fee. And at this time, I want to give praise to my Discover card for taking care of me. Now we know that everything else was returned to me but the 35. So the initial dispute for the 914 and change actually became $35 because they did return the majority of the money. But here's what I want to show you, Farrah, my resolve. Take a look at all these documents. Take a look at all these documents that I uploaded to my Discover card, okay, in an effort to fight your bullshit. Look at this, Farrah. Can you believe this? Right there, 29 documents. I told you, Farrah, you take money from me, you're fucking with the wrong person. I wasn't lying, was I? And you see there, items 28.1 and 28.2, terms and conditions. That is how you fucked yourself. Farrah, had you just said it was a restocking fee, there would have been nothing I could have done about it. I wouldn't have even fought it because I would have said, well, she got me. But because you're such a fucking idiot and you put in there that it was a chargeback fee, yeah, that's going to get fought by me. There's no way you're getting away with that, especially when your terms and conditions show nothing in regards to initiating a dispute nor doing a chargeback. Now I'm going to go back to your site periodically here and see if you've updated those terms and conditions, just to see if you can try to screw somebody else. Because if you got it in there, I guess you could do it. But you didn't, Farrah. You dealt with somebody that was on a much higher plane than you were. Next time, be careful. If you're dealing with somebody that's smart, don't fuck them over. And I just thought I'd like to show you this about documents. Now, initially, I only had, I think, 9 documents. Yeah, you can see 9 documents. Then when I wanted to add more, you'll see that the number 1 was a PDF that described what these were all the way up to 9. So I let them know. Instead of just giving it to them, I actually described each item, what they were looking at. So now when I added more, you'll see that I had to say about document numbers 11 through 21. So 11 through 21 were described for Discover. Then when I added more, you'll see 23 and 24. I let them know what those documents were. Instead of just uploading them, I let them know, hey, here's why it is, here's the pertinence of these documents. Now you'll see 26 through 29. So you see, Woodland Hills, you're dealing with a guy that's a cut above. And so my recommendation would be find out how smart the people you're dealing with before you try to fuck them over. So what I've got here is the nPAE 1.25 inch ruby turret, which I'm sending back to Woodland Hills to get a full refund. And the reason I'm documenting this is because I want to make sure that there is no discrepancy between what I did packaging it up in all the original packaging versus what might be said once received. So that's why this is being documented. I will send them a link, and you know, we'll make sure that it's understood how I did it. Again, all original packaging. So it's going to go back into this, what nPAE calls a foam box packaging. So before that, we want to make sure that, unlike the way I got it, all the thumb screws are tight. Okay, everything's tight. Rear cap's on, everything's intact. All the covers are on, 5 of which I had to buy extra because they don't supply them. So what I'm going to do is put, so we don't have the issue that I had when I received it from them, I'm going to put it in this 8 by 8 inch by 4 mil thick bag. Try to get that in there. Just like that. Close it up. And the only purpose for this is to ensure that the caps stay on, that no other damage is done if they should come loose during shipping, which they shouldn't. These have been snugged down. Further, what I'm going to do, just to give it a little bit more snugness, I guess, is put this masking tape around it like this, just to keep the plastic down a little tighter, a little snugger to the bag. Then let me fold this back so they can take that apart. Well, let's see it. And then I think I'm going to put one more on. I guess we'll do one more for the heck of it here. One more round. So, you know that air that's trapped in there. Let me open this up. Yeah, we'll leave it like that because basically we're just trying to keep, well, you know what? Let's do one more so that every eyepiece area is secured down. Now, as you can see, there's no way that if a cap did come loose, we've got it secured, or I shouldn't say secured, we've got it trapped into these small areas in which if they came loose, they're not going anywhere. They're captured in these small areas I've created with the masking tape. Next, I'm going to show that I'm returning those little set screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in there. Okay, paid extra for those. 6 of them in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra thumb screws. Paid extra for those. And this end cap, paid extra for one of them. And this is what the little bag they sent them in. So we've got that there. We've got the main unit. So next I got to figure out how this box folds. Oh, let's see here. I don't know if I'm going to get this back the same way. We'll do our best. We shall do our best. So let's put this here. Then let's put this over on the side. I almost wonder if I should tape it. Well, we should be okay. I don't know if I should tape that. You know what I think I'm going to do though? Just in case this wants to open up, I think I'm going to put just for the heck of it. I think I'm going to put this around it. Make it, just in case this bag wants to open. I don't want any issues there. This will just keep it tighter. Then what I'm going to do is fold this back on itself, so when it gets there, they can pull that out very easily. Take that out. We're going to stick that right in there. That should be fine. Let's get this damn thing back. Alright, so now we do this. We got that. We bring this up. Boy, I think they got more design in getting this box together than anything. So there it is, guys. Now, I'd like to tape that down. I'm not going to. I think I'm going to get a plastic bag. Let me go get a plastic bag. We'll be right back. So what I wanted to do, guys, is put tape on here. So I don't want to put any tape on there, just in case there's any issues with them saying, oh, you. But this is the box as I received it. Top side is here. So for full documentation, here's the top side again. Here's the bottom. You know something I do, guys, when I ship something of any value, major value, I always take and put numbers on every corner of the outside box. And after the shippers put all their tags on it, so let's be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So what I'll do is I'll take a picture of the top of the box with all the tags on it. I go like this, 180 degrees like that, and then one on the bottom. I've got every side of that box. I've got numbers everywhere. They know exactly how that was before it left the shipper. So, but what I'm going to do now is take this 12 by 16 bag that I have, put it in here. The reason I'm doing this is I'm going to secure this, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to put tape up here. Let me put So I'm going to put tape up here like this. Okay. Put another one across it. Like this. Okay. Then where's the lid? Okay, and right here where the where it would open up. I'm going to secure that down just like that. Again, the reason I'm doing that is so that they can't say that I put tape on the box, destroyed the box, it can't be resold, whatever they want to say. Cannot be done. Then let's just go around here like this. Just like that. Okay. So what we end up with is, here's the top of the box. You can see where the thing is. That, and that, top, bottom. Alright, so now this is the original packing, or outside packing box that was supplied by Woodland Hills. So, in fact, I actually even said in my review, I believe they did a better job of boxing a box than nPAE did of actually doing their turret. So, we're going to put that in here like that. All the same bubble wrap, all the same stuff is going in there. In fact, let me put it in there like that. Okay, so there's that. And let me show turret, box. Put that in there. Now that's all they had as far as the bubble wrap, whatever, that was it. So I guess we're going to call that good. And then we've got a sticker up here that I'm going to pull off. Well, my label can go over that. I can pull that off later. There we go. Alright, so let me get a couple pieces of tape just to get this thing started. That way it holds it together. The top side, I'm going to put some more on the bottom here. Just to make sure, I'm going to go across it here several times, each side. Again, guys, just documenting. It's always good to document, because when it hits the fan, you've got proof. And one thing I always do is make sure that when it hits the fan, I've got proof. I do believe I'm going to put some across this way, because I sure want this to get there in good order. I don't want there to be absolutely any issues whatsoever. Now we'll let it go down the side of the box a little bit more. And I'm going to also, along the ends here, now this box already had this little divot here when I got it. So I think what I'm going to do, let's see. And we're going to do the bottom likewise. A little too big. One last. Yeah, another one too long. All right. Same box. Let's take a look at all the sides. Alright guys, so here's what we got. I just called UPS with the tracking number, and they said that it was a pickup from my home, but that I had to pay extra for the pickup. Now I spoke to them many times about pickups, and I assumed when I told them nPAE can pay for this to go back to them. This is going back to Woodlands, whom I paid for the order, did the order with Farrah at Woodland Hills, and gave her my credit card number. The only reason it's being returned is because of all the issues, and I'll put a link to the review I did. So now I've got to go out of my way here on a Sunday to drop it off to ensure that it gets taken care of. And the problem is that, again, had they done their job properly, I wouldn't have to do this. All I can say is there's other videos coming. That's all I can say. Here's what I did with those. So I want you to see how I do these numbers. Okay? Here's the top. And I've covered the label, but here's what it looks like. Okay? 10, 7, 4, 7. And this is a 1, 4. So there's the top. Let's take a look. Again, this is the all original packaging. This is the original shipping box from Woodland Hills to me. And there's the bottom. And as you saw, I taped the heck out of it. So all I can say is nPAE should have came up to the plate and made sure that I was made whole, meaning it should have been picked up from my home at no cost, at no other, I should not have been put out by having to go anywhere with this package. To say that I'm flaming hot is just unbelievable. nPAE, there are more videos coming. Be prepared. One thing you have to understand about me, nPAE, is I'm a very precise person. Precise. And when I do something and I make a claim, I can back it up 110%. So, all I've got to do now is put my RMA numbers on the outside. I'm going to do that off camera. I'll get pictures of it for other evidence, and this is going to go. Okay, so I've put the RMA numbers one on each side at the top, on every side of the box, and on the bottom. So there's no way that they can say they didn't get this. RMA number I have is RMA 0000 1360 1 FP. And I gotta say this, nPAE, you should have stepped up to the plate, not inconvenienced me. I've got to take this out now and drop it off. I thought I was clear when I said that nPAE should pay for all of the what it costs to get it back to them. I shouldn't have to pay a dime. So I'm really hot under the collar here. There's more videos coming, nPAE, and Woodland Hills. All I can say is there's more videos coming, and you should have stepped up to the plate and taken care of me. But this is all going to be in another video.